Let the campaign begin.
Yes, sir.
For those who do not know, my name is Jimi Agbaje, and I am running for the office of Governor of Lagos State.
Yes, sir.
By the grace of God and your support, I will be Governor of Lagos State, May 29, 2019. Let me tell you, those who talk about Jimi running for governor, I would like to put it this way. 20 years after, these people that have been in office have been in government for 20 years. What do we have 20 years after? If you ask the average Lagosian today of age between 18 and 50, even above 50, and you ask the Lagosian to choose whether he will stay in Lagos or he would rather go abroad to stay, what will the answer be? Abroad! He would rather go abroad. In other words, the Lagosian does not see a future in the Lagos that we know of today. Yes. And if you ask further, why do you want to go abroad? He or she will tell you, if I go abroad, I know that transport will not be my problem because there's a public transport system. My children will have good schools to go to, good public schools, in other words, government schools to go to. If I'm sick or my children are sick, there will be no problem. There will be no problem of no light or light. And I can go on and on and on. And that's why it's important, whoever is running our country or our state, to understand where we're going and what the people want. In 20 years, those that have been there since have spent over 6 trillion naira. That's over $35 billion. And what do we have to show for it? Those things that want to make you go abroad. I mentioned transportation. Lagos is one of the 2 mega cities in the world that does not have a light rail system. One of only 2 of all mega cities in this world. Lagos is one of them. If you look at our education today, why in Lagos, the private schools, 70% of them pass WAEC. In the public schools, over 50% of them fail WAEC. So you are not surprised that even the children of the poor, they struggle to put their children to primary school, private primary school, because they have no faith in the public primary school we have. They struggle and struggle and struggle. By the time it comes to secondary, they give up and finally send their children to public secondary school. So you will find that the number of children in private primary schools is far in excess of those in public primary schools. Meanwhile, that is the foundation. The foundation of any human being is at the primary school level and then the secondary school level. That's what they call the basic education. If you look at the world today, for all of us who use Facebook, and you talk about Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and all those people, what they used to be what they are today was not university education. It was basic education. So we're missing out for our children. We're missing out for our youth if our education is not right. And so any government after 20 years that cannot have started to correct that cannot say it is interested in the youth or the future of our youth. Now, that's just education. Health, God forbid any of us falls ill today. You have to go out borrowing. That is the reality. So we do not have health working for us. We cannot say we have health. If I tell anybody here who is sick to go to the public health institution, he or she will look at me like I'm a wicked person. And that is the reality of the time. That is as far as health is concerned. What else do I say? Health, education. Do we have housing? Are you guaranteed housing? What else do I say? I talked about transportation, traffic. In this Lagos, in the last 20 years, we cannot say that we have had any major opening in Lagos. Under Jakonde, all those roads you see leading to Ekpe, leading to Badagry, were done in 4 years. Please tell me, in the last 20 years, what have these people done in terms of opening Lagos? What we hear, they talk about 4-year candidate. I say they are 4-year Fourth Mainland Bridge. Because every election, they talk about doing Fourth Mainland Bridge. Since 2003, there has been no Fourth Mainland Bridge. So there has been no opening up of Lagos. Whereas there are other bridges that need to be constructed. We have to understand the situation that we find ourselves. We have a situation where we're making a lot of money for Lagos. But some people have decided that that money is for themselves rather than for the people. So we're running a government, people, for politics, I keep saying, you seek power either for service or for self. I am seeking power for service, they are in power for self. We have a situation where there is no democracy. And it's clear from everything we see every day. The recent events, the events of today, I will leave for later because I don't want them to distract us. But let me say that those that have been there for the last 20 years only pay lip service to democracy. They are definitely not Democrats. And that is the reality. We know and they know. And we'll show over the course of the campaign that they are not Democrats. So, coming back to why I'm running. I'm running because I believe that I can make life better, worth living for all Lagosians. Because I believe that our economy can be much better than it is today. And I believe that I can create that future for many of the young ones that we have in Lagos today. So our campaign will be based on a tripod, on 3 legs. What the Oyinbos call livability, on the economy, and on the future. When I talk livability, I'm saying that the reason why you want to go abroad is because life is easy there. We have to make life easy for you here so that you can stay here and develop this place. So I'm saying that those things that will make life easy for you, in 4 years, we have a model before them. Jakonde was a model in 4 years. That is the person that we can look at. We have nothing to look at in those that have been there these 20 years. And we're saying that in 4 years, the traffic situation will not be what it is today. It will be much, much improved. That in 4 years, they have been doing light rail for 12 years, and they are telling us we'll not be ready till 2022. They have kept shifting that goalpost. Addis Ababa had its light rail and was completed in 4 years. We have been doing that for 12 years, and we're saying that this time round, that light rail must take off, because we don't want to have the tag that we're one of the mega cities that does not have a rail system. So we're telling you, or telling the people of Lagos, that we are going to have light rail. Within 4 years, it will be working. In the course of the campaign, we'll be building on these things I'm saying because we don't want to throw everything out. We know why the light rail is not ready. We know why. But we'll tell you later. So we'll talk about the light rail. We'll talk about education, because education must be right. Yes, we say for health, we are assuring that in 4 years, we'll be running a model based on a health insurance that will ensure that you do not have to think of how you are going to pay when you get to the doctor, because it is already paid for. This is about livability. This is about making life worth living for you. Let us go to the economy, because I said it's 3 legs. The economy. There cannot be an economy if government looks at itself as just to make money. And so they make regulations not to control things, but to make money. The essence of their own regulation is to make money. We are saying that regulation should not be for the purpose of making money. So we're talking about ease of doing business. You know, Lagos, in this Nigeria, is in the last 6 of where it is easy to do business. In other words, some nearly 30 states, it's easier to do business in those states than in Lagos. Because you and I know that to do business in Lagos, you will deal with local government, you will deal with the radio and TV license, you will deal with this, you will deal with that. They even want ourselves to say you must pay admin license, everything. All sorts of levies come into play in Lagos. So ease of doing business is something that a serious government that wants to make life easier for the people, wants to make the micro, medium, small enterprises, wants to make them do good business, must make life easy for them. And so it is important that we do that. We have talked about the social trust fund. Again, this is something we talked about in 2015. They copied it, but we don't mind them copying us. But you see, the copy cannot be as good as the original. So, we have a situation where I think today we are giving 10,000 naira, that kind of thing. We are telling you that when we get there, because they tried to copy what we were selling in 2015, we shall do that and ensure that the younger ones can see something to take off with. We talked about free Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi is not a campaign thing. Free Wi-Fi has become an everyday tool. Again, we said it in 2015. I heard recently they were copying that they're going to do free Wi-Fi somewhere. Let them copy. We know the original. We have the original. I will do it. So that our young ones can know. They can know that Wi-Fi is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Everybody must be able to use that machine that you hold on to. Not just to phone, but to make life easier for everybody. And that is the reality for our young ones. So, economy again, we have a problem of power. Times have changed. There are laws for power. But you know what? We have an answer. We believe that there is an arrangement that will be put in place in 4 years. We're not talking 20 years, we're talking 4 years. And those who know me know that I don't talk just anyhow. Before I say it, it's because I have done my homework. I am giving you a guarantee that as governor of Lagos State, we shall have a minimum of 1,000 megawatts of power. We believe that Lagos needs about 3,000 at today's consumption to at least have a sense of stability. But I am saying, because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, I am saying that in 4 years, we will give a minimum of 1,000 megawatts. Minimum. Because when you have that, then it means that the artisans can have work, that all of us can be more productive in what we do. In our economy, we were the industrial capital for Nigeria and the commercial capital for Nigeria. We have lost the industrial to our neighboring states because we have driven them out, because the facilities are just not there. And this is a reality that we have to face. We have to understand that Lagos must get back that status of being the industrial and the commercial capital of this country. And that is a job that we have before us. I can go on and on. The future must be bright for us. The future will be bright for us. You know, you may ask or think, what is the problem? Why is it that 20 years after, 6 trillion naira after, $35 billion, nothing is working? It cannot work. It cannot work because there are one or two people, interests that are holding us on our neck. Or anything that is being done in Lagos must be beneficial to them. And that is the real reality that we have today. The truth is that Lagos is not working because you have vested interests. It is time to remove the vested interests. It is the vested interests that decide who will govern you at the state. They're the ones that have decided who will be your chairman at the local government. They're the ones that have decided who will be your councillors. They're the ones that have made it such that your local governments are completely ineffective. In fact, the local government is nothing else but a political machinery for them. It is time to stop that. It is time to elect a governor whose buck, where the buck stops on his table. There is nobody that they can bring who can openly, honestly say that the buck will stop on his or her table. I, Jimi Agbaje, tell you categorically that as governor, the buck will stop on my table. So we say, Lagos deserves better. This campaign is a campaign between what we call the people's Lagos and one man's Lagos. We are going to campaign and tell the people of Lagos to decide what kind of governance they want. Whether they want governance where it is the people's Lagos or it is one man's Lagos. We, of course, are on the side of people's Lagos. Thomas Jefferson, for those who know him, said that a government or a people, or let me put it the other way, a government that fears its people will bring about liberty. But in a situation where the people fear government, it is tyranny. Can I repeat it? A government that fears its people will bring about liberty. But the people that fear the government will bring about tyranny. What we are having today is that the people are beginning to fear the government. And so, we are taking a risk of tyranny. It has just started. We better stop it before it goes any further. In conclusion, I'm only to tell you that, trust me, you talk about JK you know, JK you trust.
JK is okay.
The JK you have always known has not changed. I want to assure you, for those who do not know or who fear, the election of 2015, those who voted for us remain intact. I mean that base has not changed. 2019, we're going to expand that base. We are not just going to beat them, we're going to beat them flat. I want you to mark my words. We're not just going to beat them, we're going to beat them flat. Today, they have shown that they are afraid. I mean, yes, that they are afraid. They say I'm their customer. They forget something, that the customer is king.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When they say I'm their customer, you remind them that the customer is king.
Yes,
That king is on ground today. From today till March 2nd. Anyway, I know. In fact, by February, we know that the game is over. By February, we know that the game is over. We are ready for them. Anything they want, we are ready. If they throw one, we will throw two. If they throw two, we will throw three. So don't worry. The game has just started. Let the campaign begin.